Hello.
Hello, Stefan.
Hello,
Hello,
Marco.
Marco. How are you doing?
Hi, Christina. Hello. Nice to meet you both.
Nice to
Yes.
meet you. Yeah.
Nice to have you on, indeed.
Thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful to be with you guys. I'm sure something magical will come out from this lovely conversation we are about to have.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Can you tell? I mean, at least where I am, the summer is has finally arrived, and it's wonderful out.
Yeah, it is wonderful here too. I am a Mediterranean man, and therefore I just came back from Greece, just temporarily here in Rome for a few days to edit a photo book. And then I'll be back in Santorini, the island of Santorini in Greece, and spend 4 months there working.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're going to have a new episode and very sunny one with our new OpThink special guest, Da Vinci of current days, Marco Missinato. And Marco, thank you once again for joining us tonight. It's a huge pleasure to meet you and to have a cup of tea tonight with you, discussing, subjects relating to art, inspiration of soul, balance, planet awakening, healing, and many, many more things that are so crucial these days. And just first of all, I would love to give some brief introduction about Marco Missinato to our listeners who are may not familiar with his work. So Marco Missinato is a current day syncretist, and he is a professional musician, composer. He's a photographer too. He is a healer, and many, many more beautiful things he does. And he's a being who came here in this fascinating physical journey to become fully aware of himself. And like Marco himself says, my heart and my imagination are the given devices that the only vehicle I have is my own heart. And Marco is a artist, as also he himself says, and he's a unique musician, creating a wonderful soul, uplifting and memory returning sounds of music, with his projects and love philosophy uniting many people worldwide. And Marco's music is a music of ancients waking up in our future, and the purity and childlike innocence, no expectation. These are the main ingredients of Marco's masterpieces. So Marco, once again, thank you for joining us. And maybe you just could give some links and, places where the listeners could find your work and to explore more.
Yes, thank you, Christina. Thank you, Stefan. I'm really happy to be with you guys and with your lovely audience. I just actually finished to put together a website called journeyofImagination.com, journeyofImagination.com, and that's where I summarize most of my work since I was a very, very little child. It's all there and expresses itself through music and through videos and photography and words.
Beautiful, yeah. I just recently, yesterday, looked for that page. It's really phenomenal how you are uniting your writings, your memories, with your photography and music together. You even can listen and just read, the memories, listening your music. It's really so correlating together. It's really beautiful.
Yes, well, the truth is that that's really everything is completely connected. Everything comes from the same source, so it's not compartmentalized. It's completely interacting, and so it took me a couple of years to find the links to all these different facets of my expression. And finally now it took places in this website.
Beautiful.
Yeah. What we were wondering, what are some current projects and some current works that you are working on right now? You just mentioned a little bit, and also the near future. What are you about these days?
That's a quite an interesting question because in the last couple of years I completely let go the idea of
Planning.
yes, exactly, planning. And it was such a liberating moment for me.
Yeah.
And not that before was I was quite attached to any validation or any expectation of results. I was already very much in the joyfulness of creating just for being playful with my own soul and with the orgasmic experience of connecting with source, and that was me for me was already enough. But still there was some attachment into the this has to happen, let's try to do this, let's try to make this thing happen. And in the last 2 or 3 years I just neutralized myself, and paradoxically once you do that, things start to happen
Yeah, yeah.
much more fluidly and much more effortlessly than before.
Right.
Uh,
And it seems to be
and
the
so,
things coming to you that you wanted to begin with. You're just not planning it. You're just like kind of quietly wishing and making this melody in your head, and things just align with that.
Yeah, becoming a portal, maybe.
well, I feel, in my experience, it seems like what is most important is there are different elements. One is the purity of your intent. So having not so necessarily a plan or a project, but having an intent. So if your intent is pure, meaning is not attached to an ego that is looking for wealth or validations or whatever, then you have a high degree of innocence in your creativity.
Yeah.
And that seems like to really invite the magic in your life. You know, the mystery of your life really comes to you with all there is its power.
We're so glad you're here with us this evening. I'd like to start by introducing the mastermind behind all this wonderful music that you're going to hear this evening. His name is Marco Missinato. Please welcome him.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the premier 144,000 Open Hearts concert series, featuring the high vibrational sounds of Unfolding Secrets, the Symphony of the Heart. This was co-created by Marco and his counterpart that you'll meet later, Kristen Hoffman. Tonight's event begins with Onrita Melchizedek, leading us through a meditation which will be Skyped in from South Africa. So if you'd like to just relax in your seats and enjoy this meditation.
Okay, I just want to add my deepest appreciation for your presence, for the presence here of you, all of you. You are all very important. It is my beliefs that the way how I perceive reality is that we all come from music. We all come from sound. And in my perception, um, the way how I see it is that we all hold within our heart a very special musical note. And so with the support of the music of Unfolding Secrets, we want to allow the emotions to fully come out and play. And with that, we will unleash our personal musical note so that we can create a symphony of the heart. And so as we do that, then we will be resonating, and so it will act as a call. And so as we progress with concert after concert, this call will be more and more resonating. And so we will have more people join us, and we'll keep feeding Mother Earth with the vibrational sounds and music from the heaven. And so thank you for being here. Enjoy the concert.
So without any further ado, I'd like to first of all welcome our local musicians, our wonderful local musicians. If you could please give them a wonderful hand. And our very talented musical director, Emanuela Arnon. Please give him a warm hand. He's with us all the way from Rome, ladies and gentlemen. Roma. And of course, the extremely talented Juilliard, wonderful soprano, co-creator of Unfolding Secrets, the lady you've come to see, Kristen Hoffman. Enjoy the show.
And so that's one thing. The other element is stillness, the ability, which is accessible to all of us here in the planet, the ability to let go of future and past, and surrender completely to the stillness, because from the stillness we are able to connect with our true essence, and that's where our doing, whether it's an artistic doing or a scientific doing or just even a simple job, start to have divine qualities.
Yeah, yeah. Being in that moment, you are just like awakening everything into you and just able to finally capture that, because you're not in the past anymore, not in the future anymore.
Right? And you're not
Yes.
judging it,
Yeah.
kind of
Yes,
just inviting
I
it.
think this is something that we will have all to address eventually,
Yeah.
and is part of our journey. We need to get into the energy field, and it seems like the most powerful companion when it comes to that is nature. Nature really is the big facilitator of stillness, because in my opinion, nature is the only real truth we have available externally. It seems like most of the rest of the information that comes from external fields, energy fields, are not really are often deceptive. There's a high degree of deception, or they deliver truth that are not completed. That they are like half truth, or so the formula is never there. But when you connect with a tree, or when you connect with the ocean, or with the animal, or with the flower, or with the sun, or with the stars, then it seems like you are really into a connection that has the highest integrity and the highest truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you said nature, we like to play around with words. I don't know if you noticed, but you certainly will in the show. Nature, they call it is organic, right? And there you have it. There's organs, that play a certain vibration, play a certain melody, and so it is in our whole body. We have
Yeah.
organs that all have a different vibration and a certain frequency they emit, and
Yeah.
to bring those into an orchestra, then then it plays by itself, and it's organic and it's natural. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. It seems like this moment there are just a few tools that we really have access to that are in truth. One, of course, as we said, is nature, and stillness is the other one. Um, and the creative process, when it comes from imagination, from positive imagination and from joy, it's another one. Um, the communion between a man and a woman in a love-making fashion, when it's pure, is certainly a way to reach very high level of frequencies. So I think these are the tools that we have available at this time. The rest is really, at this point, I find it completely irrelevant.
Yeah. And you also talk a lot about the heart opening process and how it is important to go back to heart, go back to that place of art, and then just to experience everything through that sphere. And also even did the project Unfolding Secrets about that. So how that came into your mind, how you just were making that vision to come into reality from your heart, how that occurred in your life.
Like all the other projects, or creative situation that I initiate. Everything starts with a genuine innocence and the joy to go deep into my emotions and connect with sound. In my experience, sounds has the ability to dissipate immediately the illusion of separation. And as soon as I get into that situation where separation doesn't exist anymore, um, melodies start to come in. This last project it started of course at the piano and with my piano and with my voice, and then it gradually moved towards a more classical, contemporary classic kind of production. And then at a certain point, I sensed that a voice was important, and I found Christine Hoffman in New York, who is a wonderful soprano vocalist, who was very excited about the music when she heard it, and we started to record the vocals. And then from there, it came the idea of unfolding secrets, because it seems to me this is exactly what is happening right now. All the secrets needs to come to surface. We need to see everything, all the truth that has been in a way hidden from us, needs to come to surface so that we can acknowledge them, and then we can let them go, and we can kind of start to navigate into higher level of freedom. So and the heart, like you said, Christina, is seems to be the most important thing that needs to open the female energy, who has been for thousands of years been kind of how can I say this? It's been yes, it's been the male energy has been dominating the scene in the last several thousand years. So we got everything is male, even God is male. There's this male God that tell us what is right and what is wrong. And so now I think the female energy needs to come out, and Mother Earth, I have the sense that already is working in that direction, and I can feel that she kind of needs our help and support. And how can we help and support is just by pursuing with great innocence and joy the gift that each of us has within our heart. I mean, we are all unique and special in this planet. There is no one person that is not an extraordinary being. And so that's the kind of responsibility now we have to address.
Yeah. And we also always have to seek that balance between head and heart. Once I just listened one of your shows, and you were talking about heart and the using word heartist, like being artist. So the same here came to me, like heart is like he arts something, and head is he adds something. He just likes to elaborate on things, add something, correct something, and heart just likes to create from that additions. He just like that head, that mental thing just does. Heart likes to create something out of it. So maybe something happens same with planet Earth. Is like a feminine expression. She creates something, and the humankind could be like maybe some sort of the literally talking about the opposition, like that mental side which adds. So only working together, humanity with that planet Earth, which is art, with that addition, we can just create something, that balanced symphony of art.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even in and even in a scientific, if you look at it scientifically, science is coming around now and is acknowledging this importance between head and heart, and how the connection is much more than we were taught to believe just years ago. And people like Dan Winter and other people, are giving us a really scientific view of what is going on chemically and physically, which is exactly what we're describing, which is that bliss, creates things, that bliss makes our heart pump a certain way, and the rhythm go a certain way, and that will translate how our DNA is braided, that is all there now for us to know from whichever angle we look.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very exciting. I used to follow all these discoveries and all these researches But in the last few months, or maybe a year or so, I'm really going deeper and deeper into fully be myself. It seems like again the answers are not external, are not from outside, but from within ourselves.
Yeah.
It seems like everything is within ourselves, and so if we don't apply a great deal of discernment, all those information that comes even from the alternative news can be very confusing and very discombobulating. And so when I browse through this information, it's getting rarer and rarer that my attention get caught up by an article or something. It feels like my heart just wants me to go into action and just live fully, rather than keeping collecting data.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's an
And
important
so,
point, that the answers are inside and the questions are outside. The quest of the ion is outside, but the acting ion, through our knowledge, our experience, is on the inside, and only we
Yeah.
can trigger that, and not anything that comes from the outside.
Yeah, it's the answer. Like you talked about the question and the answer. Answer is like ans and wear something, just to wear that yourself experience, and just answer is yourself as experience wearing that, interstellar costume, so to speak.
yeah, absolutely. Yes. So this is actually is very beautiful and liberating, because by doing so, you of course you step into a higher level of responsibility, and you start to understand that you are absolutely the creator of your own reality. And of course, once you step into that awareness, then a lot of work comes to surface. A lot of stuff that is not in integrity with what is your heart come through, and you will have to address it. And that's where many of us get scared or get discouraged, and they go back to looking outside for the answers. And I hope that music, whether it's mine or somebody else, I actually know that music can really help this very, very vulnerable time of humanity journey. I think in many of the answers will come from sound and from melodies.
Mm. It's a different way how we sense the present of music and vibrations. We're much more, like, the antennas are sharpening. We're receiving more channels, it seems, and we're not only sensing these vibrations from people, but also from the tools that the people use differently. Instruments, there's this movement trying to switch back to 432 hertz instead of the 440 that were implemented. Uh, so just it's fascinating to see how a tool, through the intent of the player, becomes an instrument, and that word is also very interesting, because it has everything in there that we just described. It says in s through ment, in spirit through mind. So you're putting your spirit into the tool, and it becomes an instrument. It's no longer a tool anymore, and it just shows we can make music with anything. You take a hammer and bang against something, that can be an instrument as well. It's a and An instrument can be bad or good, depending on the intent of whoever carries the tool, and that kind of spirit of a tool can travel with the tool and stay that instrument, and whoever gave it that meaning is still connected to it. And yeah, it's just wonderful how we're learning to sense that much deeper.
Yes, yes, I'm in resonance with what you're saying, absolutely. And to go back to your original question, so that's the intent behind Unfolding Secrets and the Symphony of the Heart, is to eventually get to the point where we will have a tour in Europe, in which a symphony orchestra will be involved. I'm working on that right now, and so that we can create a transformational experience and start to test the ground and see how humanity is at this moment, how well it responds to a musical energy field that really goes deep into the emotions rather than just entertaining. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few years in this regard.
Yeah, indeed. And also your music, as far as I, listen to your music, it's really phenomenal. And what is very interesting that it really triggers that feeling of nostalgia, feeling, which is very deep. And even that feeling, not that it's like sadness, but it's that very deep emotion, which like triggers that memory we have forgotten. So I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about that nostalgia feeling? Is that some kind of the balance between sadness and happiness and that still moment? What do you think about that?
I think everybody will be triggered in different ways in terms of emotions. Yes, and if sadness needs to be felt, it will be there, and if compassion has to be felt, it will be there. If it's nostalgia, of course. Nostalgia was actually the title of my very, very first album, which I wrote when I was a little child. And nostalgia was an element in my creativity for quite so long time, and it still sometimes appear in Unfolding Secrets. It's a nostalgia that is not related to this physical experience. It's a nostalgia that is related to probably the origin, my origin or our origins, in a way as like a call to go back there, to go back to that level of oneness and that level of love, of profound union.
Yeah. Yeah, nostalgia is the same as the feeling of that surrendering, which as we're talking with Stefan about that, is not that bad feeling. It's like you're surrendering everything and just becoming still, and same time you feel some deep emotions which really triggers your past and future into that one moment. So
Yes, absolutely. We need to have the courage to go deep into our emotions and let them out. Many people have great difficulties with that because we've been training that is a sign of weakness. We've been trained and programmed to think that good man doesn't cry, or things like messages that really are suffocating our natural predisposition to feel emotions freely. And now we have to regain that ability because through that emotion, I think we will eventually go to our core and we will find ourselves in the deepest way.
I just want to add one thing to nostalgia. When I take the word apart, I see nost and algia, which is kind of, algia is pain, sickness, and nos is our. So it's our sweet pain that we feel, that pain in the sense of what we just said, joy and sadness at the same time. You just kind of get overwhelmed with awesomeness of emotion, and in that feeling, we seem to be so creative. That works out. It really touches the heart with these waves and triggers that infamous emotional yearning. Where you wanna go out or you wanna go home, like these feelings, like wanderlust or And I wanted to switch to something that may be interesting. Uh, since you said the artist the singer that you're working with, the soprano, that feminine high pitched voice, it seems to be very fitting in it triggers that in us, these feelings. And I I came about something, the old Nordic herding calls, the kulning. I don't know if you have heard of that, uh, where these high-pitched voices, the women, they yell they sing into the woods these melodies, and to herd, the sheep or the cow or whatever it is. And we also see that in natives as a warning call, as a coming home call, come home. This high pitched that goes through our bodies. You feel it. You feel this mother, this feminine call in this high pitch. What can you say about that?
No, I agree with you. Those are definitely frequencies that create an opening, a trigger. Probably also trigger memories in terms of emotions, and also memory of in terms of experiences, past experiences, not necessarily literally related to this lifetime, maybe some other lifetime.
Right.
Yes, we had quite an amazing response from people when we had the opportunity to play live Unfolding Secrets, and we saw people having really hard time holding their tears,
Yeah.
and holding their emotions, and really we could see the transformation, and it was wonderful. So we are really looking forward to the opportunity to expand that here in Europe and everywhere else, actually.
Yeah. And maybe you had some ideas to make those concerts and those symphonies maybe in nature, somewhere in the woods. Because, for example, I have a friend who does the healing, sound healing with gongs, and he plays that in the woods, just like helping people to lay on the grass and just do that music. And they are just going deep into meditation and also earthing themselves into earth. So maybe you had similar ideas of something like that with your music.
Absolutely. We are looking for, there are so many beautiful sacred places outdoor that we are considering, both in Europe, in America, in South America, in Asia. So definitely the idea of a live concert in nature, it's definitely part of our intent.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing you talked about a lot, which really was very interesting, and I would love maybe you to elaborate more on that, is you said some interesting things about the word skills, and you said that you don't have those ordinary skills in music, you just do by the heart. And also, if we will look at the word skill, is like S plus skilling, so you're just killing that energy of that divine flow, because you are just trying to make that skill working with mind, just opposed to that flowing energy of your heart. So what you meant by the term of the skill in your life?
Yes, it's a very interesting topic. The educational system has a tendency to, I can say this, to program more than to support the natural expression of the individual. And so often, not always, but often, when people have been heavily educated, uh, unless they are extremely tuned in, they end up losing the ability, the freedom of flowing with innocence. And for some reason, I always intuitively rejected any kind of educational skills or informations. I felt that when it came to music, I really wanted to know nothing about it so that I could be like a little child and just allow things to happen without knowledge blocking the natural flow of it. And that's how I compose all my music. The music that happen in just one quick passage, and I cannot repeat it. It just come once, and usually it takes a few seconds for the melodies to come in. And because there is no mind involved in the process, I got used to tape what I play, because once it's played, I would not know how to get it back. It just goes back. It just go back straight to source again, and it's gone. And so that's how I operate. I'm not saying that that's the right way to do music. It's just my way to do music. That's how I approach music. But I noticed that often when I found myself with extraordinarily trained and educated musician, of course they are extraordinary musician, but often they don't have that that freedom to operate, because they are intoxicated with a lot of rightness and wrongness about music, and so now they are trapped.
Yeah, indeed.
So
yeah, that was exactly the subject I just wanted to touch with you, which really, doesn't, let me be in that place of understanding still. It's like in academy and in the world of art, they always are encouraging students just to find their own unique style, just to follow that style, have that certain way
Yes.
you are creating, and always just keep that, do that, and always be in that frame. So what do you think about that? Is that good way to follow? Because when I saw your work, which is really just opened me many, many gates, it's like you are not like that. You are just doing photography, doing music, and you just embracing all those fields into one, and you are not having that, framed style. So what can you share here? It's very important, I guess.
Well, first of all, I don't think we are meant to do just one thing. I think we are a rainbow of emotions, of gifts, of expressions, and we are all unique. Somehow, again, we have been programmed that we can do only one thing good, and that's something we need to let go. When it comes to music, both the educational and the industry of music have been making the life of the creative flow of musician more difficult, because
It's compression.
It's compression. Also, there is an element that is important, which is very important. It is how much you love yourself. Because the more you love yourself, the less you are seeking validations. And the less you are seeking validation, the more you are free to dance in whatever way you want to move your body without being concerned about what is right and wrong out there, what is trending out there, what it works out there. Because frankly, it doesn't really matter what is out there. Out there is just a mirror, and it doesn't really exist. There are as many worlds as many people, because it's basically just a response to your vibrational offer, what is out there. And so once you gain a higher degree of self-love, you liberate yourself from the need of being validated, whether it's the music industry or the medias or your mother or your girlfriend, boyfriend, or the people that needs to clap every time you play. You just let go of all that. It doesn't matter anymore. What it matters to you is to really keep expanding your sense of self. And that's where you really tap into the power of your imagination freely, and that's where things start to become really exciting and very interesting.
Yeah, maybe because you're experiencing yourself from more angles than just the one. Yeah, that's very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have sit down at the piano and I would say, okay, I'm going to unfolding secrets because I want to become famous, or I want to make a lot of money, or I want millions of people to buy my record. Now I step into the creative process with an agenda.
Yeah.
I have a neediness, and so my approach is not innocent anymore. There is an ego that is there that has concern, so I'm in contraction, and this contraction will create a blockage between me and the part of me that is bigger and knows it all.
Yeah.
And so yes, if I'm a good musician, I might create something that can be very successful, but there's going to be some elements. For example, when you create from that fashion, usually music ages. So yes, it creates a big explosion of success, but after maybe a few months is old, you know. That's one element I noticed that differentiate a production that comes from a deep, profound connection with our source, with our heart, and one that has an agenda of fulfilling maybe the expectation of the industry. The second one, the one that you do with your heart, usually creates a product that doesn't age. So you listen a record and you listen now, you listen 20 years from now, and it's still exactly in the same energy field, in that power, and gives you exactly those emotions. The time hasn't diminished its value. That's one of the elements that are part of an artistic effort that is being conceived from a pure state of connection with no agenda. And there are other, of course. Usually there is a very transformational power that these creations have embedded, and also has the power to heal sometime, or to inspire, or to dissipate the illusion of separation, and also is it transformational, particularly for the artist itself, because now at the end of that trip he found in a new place, and he cannot go back to what it was before. So these are the exciting things that happen when we, and I say we because this is accessible not to just few elected people in the planet, but to everybody. When we approach something with a pure heart, with no agenda, and with an intent of really be ourselves fully, that magic comes to us abundantly. So these are elements that I've been discovering in all my life until now, and it's really exciting. So I completely removed from the equation, from my formula, the expectations, the need of validation, the need of something that has to happen. I just stay in a joyful, positive imagination, into stillness, and then I let it go. And
Yeah.
so that's what I do, whether it's photography or music or anything else.
And also another interesting subject is like entertainment. People think that music has to entertain. They go to concert, they just sit, do nothing, usually in, ordinary concerts. But, it's not entertaining also. You have to interact with that. You have to take part into healing yourself. And they are just forgetting that. They take only that entertaining part, and they just, after that, just guess why nothing happened, why they haven't, been able to open themselves.
Yeah, well, but that's big time the music industry that, of course, is maneuvered and controlled by forces that want us to stay as much as possible in our mind, because when we stay in our mind, we become extremely controllable and predictable. while if we are in the heart, we are it's impossible to be corrupted, or it's impossible for a lover, the person that opened the heart, to go in a war and kill people. It's just no way. It's not going to happen, But if the person is in his mind and fully in dancing with the idea of separation, of fear, of hatred and anger, then there is a great chance that the person might be willing to become a military and go and kill people in some other country for whatever reasons,
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. And also heart is the balance of our bodies, and also heart is the anagram for the word earth, And what can you share about the sound of the earth, what you yourself experienced being maybe in nature, how earth sounds, because we know that every single planet literally has the sound itself, and also not only spiritual but physical as well. And also we know, just to quickly elaborate again, we know that in past our ancient people just were building megalith structures, which are even now, lots of our friends are doing investigation with acoustics. They are singing and playing gongs and flutes in those megalithic structures, and they just proving how that stone is interacting with the sound, and how that is able to balance the being which is in that structure, and just to reach that balance again. So that also, according to them, correlates to the sound of the earth itself. What is your point of view here, maybe?
Yes. My I think the formula of using sound, my perception is sounds is literally the tool for creating universes and creating all kind of life, and because that, I think the secrets, the formula of sounds is probably the most hidden one in this planet. And I know that a lot of people are coming closer to it, but I don't think we are quite there just yet to have the complete formula. Because once that is achieved, the whole matrix instantly will collapse. So we are talking about, in my perception, to the most hidden secrets on this physical planet. When it comes to Mother Earth, I have the feeling that Mother Earth is increasing its vibration. I think she is really increasing quite a bit the sounds of our planet, and this is causing many wonderful effects. Some are still not fully developed, but rapidly they are causing the idea of the feeling of space and time are altering. I don't know if you experience that, but my relationship with time is very, very different. In the last couple of years,
Yeah.
3 years, changed dramatically.
Fastened a lot.
Yes. So yes, that's what is happening in terms of sounds. Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. And also you talked about the melody and how melody works with tunage, and you said that melody tells a story to a sound. It triggers emotion. We can hear like very beautiful sound, but when we just place ourselves into that, just creating the melody which comes maybe from our mind together wrapped with our heart, we get that melody which triggers that story. That was very beautiful, like you said that.
Yes. To me, melody is the trigger, is because a sound is a facilitate the healing, a facilitate in my perception of sounds, create the environment and lift and create the opening. But when the melody comes, when is again conceived by a pure state of consciousness, it seems like to really bring up all the emotions, and that's the kind of I don't like so much the word healing, but the kind of healing we need to go through at this moment. We really need to feel, to fully honor our emotions and let them out, because again, in those emotions, we will find many answers, and we will probably um, reconnect with our true entity, our true identity. I'm sorry, our true persona, with our really true origins.
Yeah.
So melody is magical. In fact, if you notice, I don't know if you know, but melody are not something you can really learn to do in school.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's a mystery. It's a mysterious process. Yes, you can learn to play wonderfully an instrument. You can learn how to arrange, how to orchestrate. But when it comes to melody, that's a place where you the school cannot grasp it, you know. Or maybe they do, but they use these formulas that never really create a divine melody. It's always a very I don't know how to define it, but it's not organic. It doesn't really go deep. So the melody is the part of the music that require a completely open heart.
The role of music has always been a way to connect with our part of self that is wider and bigger and knows it all. I think musicians really have a high level of responsibility. I believe that with music we really can trigger our heart opening process, which is basically the female part of us that needs to be awakened as part of our journey to the next level of consciousness.
I think that this music definitely sends out that kind of message. It helps you to realize that there's a planetary sort of energy. It's the birthing sort of energy, and we have to really become more in tune with that energy if more growth is possible on this planet.
The ultimate goal of Unfolding Secret is a humanitarian purpose, is the idea of sharing a very high vibrational wave of music, and with that create an opportunity to raise funds in support of Earth, in support of the children, in support of the awakening that is occurring right now here on the planet.
I think that the true beauty of this project is that it's not just about going to a concert, it's not just about buying a ticket and having that experience. It's about becoming part of the Unfolding Secrets family and sharing a true deep soul experience and expansion within yourself.
Anyone who hears this music, if you feel something, just recognize that that's not a mistake. It's a message. It's a eternal message that you have to listen to that. And if you feel like being part of it in some way, you should. We need more love in this world, and I do think that love is the way to bring together harmony on this planet again. So be open to this music. Allow it to bring forward your greatest energies and your greatest gifts. I think the return will be greater than you can ever imagine.
Thank you all so much for your loving support, and we hope that you'll spread the word. There's still time to get involved, and we need your help to meet our goals. We want this to be the biggest interactive, experiential music event of 2014. We'll be monitoring the number of people from around the world who are simultaneously tuning into the highest musical frequencies. So check out what we're offering and give where you can. Then come out in support of the Open Heart live concert series and open up your heart to the possibilities. This is a journey you won't want to miss.
Yeah, truly makes sense. And what is, in your opinion, is the future for the humanity if we will work with sound in such a conscious way? What we could accomplish, and how fast maybe people could just start waking up?
Oh, the potentiality is it's amazing. I'm so excited about what is in front of us right now. But in terms of what is going to happen, I think that's an individual process. Everybody will have to make choices. It seems like right now we are getting more and more to a place where we have to make a choice what direction to go. There are basically two directions. Either we continue to feed this artificial mechanism where we are trapped. Many call it system, others call it matrix or whatever. And by continuing that, that's also an experience. There's nothing wrong, but we will get towards more and more towards technology and more towards a robotic kind of virtual, artificially created virtual kind of experience. And eventually we will lose connection with source. And that's one experience, one choice. The other choice is the one to grow in our intelligence. And when I use the word intelligence, I mean the ability to discern what is real from what is an illusion. That's to me define intelligence. So we will need to increase our level of discernment and intelligence, and then choose the more organic situation where we won't so much rely on technology, but we will rely much more in our intuition, and we will follow our Mother Earth. So it seems like there are two choices that are coming in front of us, and we will have to make a choice. I don't think there is wrong or right choice. It's just different experiences. Of course, the most loving seems to me the one that choose the organic life, not the synthetic one.
Yeah, just come back from MP3, format to again gathering in the tribes near fireplace, singing together, straight, just sharing energy. That's the most important.
Well, yes. I mean, it's not that we need to become aborigines, but we just need to continue to trust ourselves more than outside informations. So when I say trust ourselves, I mean trust our intuition, our imagination, and our heart. Of course, using the mind. The mind is very important, but the mind shouldn't be at the driver's seat. It should be the supportive mechanism that allow us to be functional and operate. But when it comes to decisions should come from an intuition level, from a resonance. That's the big word, resonance. So you see, we go back to sound. What is sounds good, what it feels good, but what it sounds good,
Yeah.
So my way is letting go completely, basically unplug as much as possible, from the system, because if I don't, I keep feeding it.
Yeah.
I keep perpetuating this, you know, light and darkness game that it never ends. And so it's not so much about going in a fight against the darkness, so much as becoming neutral and unplugging from the system and start to trust your intuition. Of course, this is something we need to do slowly in a certain way, although there is a sense of urgency that we need to address, but slowly, because there is so many programs are embedded in our system. There is program of aging, program of disease, program of scarcity, program of separation. I mean, you name it. There are so many. I constantly face mine, but that's what is important. That's what happens once you follow the heart. Then you can identify these programs. You right away see what is in integrity and what is not.
Yeah.
And once you identify the program, well, then immediately either the program vanish itself, because once you see it, you see how ridiculous that program is,
Yeah.
or maybe you will have to do the necessary work to do it, but now you know what you're dealing with, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and another important element that shapes melody is the pauses, and which reminds us perhaps, how the importance of taking breaks, and you can't rush, your way. You can't rush your path. You can't do that. You have to take breaks as it resonates and as it just comes along.
absolutely. If you notice, that's one of the biggest effort of the system to keep us running left and right. All the people I know, they are constantly running. They're busy, left, right, go, I have to go, I have to go. And you ask, where are you going? I'm not sure, but I have to go. No, but I have to do things, And
I'm
these
late.
things, yeah, exactly. They never end, never end. They're constantly running to fulfill the moody and irrelevant demands of a system that is asking more from
Yeah.
you all the time.
Not
And
theirs.
yes, and
Somebody
keeps you
else's.
busy, keeps you in your mind. But the system operate through our consent. No, we are allowing this to happen because we consent to it. So we need little by little to become aware, to step out from ignoring the situation, and start to make researches and try to feel and find out what's going on, and then start to not consent anymore to all these situations. It's hard work for many, because many are so deeply involved in this process, and they cannot conceive any other ways. It seems like they don't use their imagination. They think always inside the box. And when you feel inside the box, you cannot find the solution, because the solution is to be found from a different frequency from where the problem was created. So it's a very interesting time, but I can see that for many, life as is proposed by the system is becoming more and more unbearable. And so this is a sign that eventually we will find the courage to take full responsibility and start to make changes. For example, if we start to change from the idea of profit, which we are obsessed with, this profit, which seems to be in charge of most of our decisional power. But if we can shift from profit to support, now we go in a completely different energy field that is much more organic, and profit will be still there, even if I am doing things now just to support life. So I don't think profit ever. And I step out from that idea, And I found myself now in a process where I constantly do things to support, whether it's support my own self growth or support somebody that is near me, that maybe by exercising my gift I can kind of support his own journey. And a lot of magical things are happen since I do that.
Yeah, perfectly makes sense. Like those two words, profit and support. Like when you try to profit something, you're just fitting into something, you're just profiting and not creating anything, but just going into that scheme and just trying to immerse into that. And by supporting, you just like that as energy, you are just like porting that into something and just extracting and
Yeah,
collecting the energies and working together.
if we can only start to ask that question, okay, I know that I'm in this survival mode because I have kids, I have bills, I have mortgage, whatever I have that I have to survive for. But if I start little by little, slowly, gently, to address these fears and start to make step by step, start to ask the question, okay, when I accept this job, in what way I'm supportive life, in what way I'm helping my fellow human, in what way I'm inspiring, in what way I am creating a vibration that can help. And if I agree to work with this for this corporation, yes, this corporation gives me a good salary, I make a lot of money, but what is this corporation intent? In what way this corporation is serving humanity? Is it is for the good of all, or is it profit at any cost kind of corporation? Because if it's profit at any cost, then I am giving my energy to a beast that is contributing in killing this planet and killing the humanity. So maybe I don't want to participate to that, or maybe I do participate, but while I'm inside, I start to change from the inside out the situation. Yeah. These are the kind of thinking that we need to address at this time. It's very important.
Yeah. And always we have to remember the forgiveness and how important that is, just to forgive everything which was bad or good and just forgive that, give that, and to forget that. Maybe Stefan, you would love to elaborate on that more?
Oh, absolutely. That's something I'm working myself too. We need absolutely to. First of all, we don't need to take anything too seriously. Sometimes we get so serious about stuff because we need to remember that this is just a game. This is a game we agree to play, and everybody are playing their role. And evil and light, they are all in a higher level. They are all come from love. They're just playing a role in order for us to have this fascinating experience, which it seems to me one of the most incredible adventures that a soul can have uh, to incarnate, to manifest himself or herself in this physicality, which is probably one of the toughest choices available for a soul. But it's fascinating because I believe that here there are the master of deceptions. Why? Because we are master of love, and so we need the best in the field to give us some challenge so that we can continue our growth, right? Continues our expansion. So from a broader perspective, this is just a game. We are just playing a game, and once you step out from that, the drama of it diminished, and then you can really, by not taking everything too seriously, you can actually lighten up and do things much more joyfully. And paradoxically, when you position yourself in a vibration of joy, of course everything is easier, and you start to manifest and attract situations that are more in that line, and so everything becomes easier.
Yeah.
Oops, my microphone. Yeah. Just two words: forgive and forget. It's just like, forgiving it, and forgetting it. You have to just kind of be in that in that spot. It's cool how that is coded in the words, and we just see, like in music, it is a language, and it's in the words. The letters are the notes, and the words are the parts of the melody, and so on, and it translates just into everything. And if you can do that, then you can shape your life like a melody, and that is I think you're a good example for that, and it's just wonderful how um how you show people, how seemingly effortless, and I guess that's that is the word there too. It is to just be in that space. So I would definitely encourage our listeners to go and listen to Marco Missinato's music, because it's just wonderful. Um, I was just listening before, and we were talking about the emotions that come up, and it's just wonderful when it's
Yeah.
maybe use some headphones. That helps too, and let it touch you, and enjoy also his photography with it. Maybe that's what I did, and had a great experience. So uh, wow, I think we covered some ground here, and if there's nothing to add, we would like to thank you for being here today and sharing with us, what it means to really be able to let art just flow, and to just kind of go
Be
with
in the
it, and
moment. Yeah.
become that melody. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Stefan. I just want to add something while I was listening to you talking. I actually realized that when I connect with those energy fields like music, and the melodies start to flow, I realize that there is really nothing to forgive. Because I start immediately to feel love for everything, the bad, the good, the all the those roles, all of a sudden blend into oneness, and I just start to feel love for everyone. Doesn't matter if they hurt me uh, or they support me. It's just a profound sense of gratitude that comes through my heart. So I have the feeling that forgiveness too is not so much necessary once you are at that high frequency.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, because we are all facilitating each other. Because somebody hurt, let's say somebody hurt me, well, I am responsible of that. There is something that this person is helping me out to see about myself, that I am not just seeing yet. So it, although the mind right away start to create a negative experience, the truth is that that too is in a way is love, as it is even the matrix, the darkness that comes from the evilness that comes from many of the expression of the matrix, in a way uh, they are facilitating our awakening, pushing us to go in a field of higher responsibility. So that is love too. So at the end, when I go back to my music and I compose music, or I connect with stillness and I start to capture a picture, that's where I am in that kind of field where I feel love for everything that exists, and everything is so incredibly vibrant and so filled with peacefulness, with joy, with celebration, with love. So that would be ideally what needs to be conveyed when we express ourselves, whether it's a concert or an exhibition of painting or a movie that we are creating. That should be probably the ultimate intent.
Yeah, definitely. So, Marco, thank you once again for coming and just being with us on our near table and just expressing everything and talking to the hearts from the balance of our inner cores. and just uniting this present moment into making some magic to happen. And I'm sure that many of listeners who will be listening to this show will be inspired a lot and will be encouraged by checking your work and listening your beautiful music, and maybe they will start their own creativity after that. And then that's, I think, the most important thing which we can do, just to inspire others and be inspired by them backwards. So thank you
Absolutely.
once again for coming.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Stefan, for having me, and my pleasure to meet you. And thank you for what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Talk soon.
Much love.
Much love.
Much love.
Bye.
Bye bye.